Don't talk quiet like that. So, backstory for this video that I'm recording right now. Uh, I, I'm, I put a comment on YouTube on some video, and basically some guy was talking about how a bunch of people had been commenting on a video he recently put out, and he said, and I quote, all of the comments were completely vitriolic. And I have never heard the word vitriolic in all 21 years of my life. And I commented a YouTube video saying this. I commented on it. I said I've never heard of this word in all my life. And someone replied to that comment and took it absolutely personally and proceeded to tell me that if I don't know English, then I shouldn't be speaking it, because apparently I don't read literature, because, you know, not knowing what the word vitriolic means just makes you horrible at English. So what I did was I just pulled up my email. I get constant word of the day updates in my email, and I'm just gonna kind of read on the words of the word of the day, and me and my friend over here are just gonna rip on them, because 90% of these words of the day are totally pointless. We have words that are literally just... What was that huge lag spike I just got hit with?
That might have been my cluster nade.
What the fuck did you blow up to do that?
That might have been my cluster grenade.
So anyway, we've got words.
Just get it again?
I wasn't looking. So we get words that are like 17 letters long that literally just mean something that a smaller, like, 4-letter word also means. And like we've just kind of come to the conclusion that smart people who want to craft words that are 17 characters long just so they can sound smart are just dumb as fuck. You're just using up your own energy and brain power to think of words just so you can sound smart, and it's just so stupid and irrelevant. So I'm gonna set a timer for about 35 minutes, and I'm just gonna read words while I play Division 2. So this... Ow! What the fuck is going on?
Well,
so
they're shooting you. I'm healing you. And more people are dying.
So this word of the day is endue. In
what?
Endue. Endue. Endue.
Indo? The skeleton?
I don't know. Endow or provide with a quality or ability. Max was endued with incredible compassion for his friend's problems.
Endowed?
Okay. No, it's E-N-D-U-E, and then the way it's pronounced is E-N... What? The way it's pronounced is E-N-D-O-O. So, endue.
Why? It is quite literal. It's a synonym for endowed in every possible way. What's the purpose of that?
So that smart people can sound smart.
Apparently.
Alright. There's that one. Oh, I think I've heard this word before. Benile.
I've heard of benign.
Biennial.
What's on the benile?
Taking place every other year. Biennial.
Bilineal.
No, it's biennial.
Biennial?
Biennial.
Biennial.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is biennial. What the fuck?
Oh,
Alright.
okay. It makes more sense in the second the second thing, living or lasting for 2 years. Okay, that's the first word. This I guess
Okay, yeah,
that's
that works.
this is the first word in this podcast that has actually kind of made sense. That is a word that
Yeah.
makes sense. The art museum holds a biennial reception for the members. I don't want to plant every year, so I try to choose biennial landscaping. That makes sense.
Yeah, but
Notophily.
bi-yearly could also just work.
It could.
Just seems like you're substituting a few letters
Notophily.
in there.
Notophily is a word that
Notifully?
I'm accepting. Notophily. It means
Notifully?
the collecting of banknotes as a hobby.
What?
The collecting of banknotes as a hobby. Notophily. I mean, it makes sense.
Who does that?
I mean, the collecting of banknotes as a hobby has to have a name.
I guess.
That one makes sense.
Who does that as a hobby, though?
I don't know. I mean, does keeping your pay stubs count? I've got every single pay stub from my current job. That's how I know I've been working there for about 41
maybe.
weeks.
Yeah. I guess that could work. Man, you've been working there for 10 months.
10 months. I'm almost at a
sinking.
full year. I'm almost at a year, bro.
You're nearly at a year. You're nearly a senior member.
Yep. All right. Copybook.
Explain.
Exactly in accordance with established criteria. Perfect.
Okay.
Triadly conventional. Okay, that makes sense. Word of the day, Vanguard. A group of people leading a group of people leading the way in new developments or ideas. A position of the forefront of new developments or ideas. The foremost part of an advancing army or naval force.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Although I did say we were not an
We're-
army, so
we're-
that could be
The Vanguard are not an army. What did he say that did he just say that they're not an army, or did he say that there was something else and not an army?
He said, no, we are not an army. We're guardians. So the idea is that they stay in the city and protect. They guard.
Even though we go on those strikes and we march through those strikes as if we are literally just kicking them down, fucking them up.
That's, yeah, sort of, pretty much.
Macroscopic. Visible to the naked
Macroscopic?
eye. No, macroscopic. Oh no, macroscopic. Actually,
Okay.
it's macroscopic.
It's actually
I'm
my
bleeding
ass.
out over here.
Well, you know what? You wanted to see G. Phillips, so that's where I am.
I
I'm
did not
bleeding
say
shit.
I want. I said we could fuck with that later. I don't care enough about it right now. I'm trying to get the strongholds done, bro.
Alright.
I'm bleeding out.
I'm on my way back.
Macroscopic means visible to the naked eye. Okay, that one makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
Relating to large scale or general analysis. Although,
This is when we learned that right after we start the podcast.
yeah,
all the
right
words
after
are
we start the
actual words.
podcast, we literally did like 20 fucking words before starting the podcast, and none of them made any fucking sense, which is why I started the podcast. And now all of the words that we could be using semi daily maybe are popping up.
We don't need a macroscopic overview of what season 17 is going to be like. Just a
Oh
microscopic.
fuck! I don't even think I could say this one. Word of the day: antepenult.
Is it racially charged?
No. Word of the day. Word of the day: antepenultimate.
Antepenult. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Last but two in a series. Third last.
third. What?
Lena was the antepenultimate student in the line. So, you know, you'd say first, second, and then antepenultimate. Instead of just
Yes,
saying
'cause that makes
third.
sense.
Instead of, you know, just saying third. That is an example of simple things being blown into massive, massive words. Even though this is antepenultimate. How many letters is that? How many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a 15-letter word. You know the easiest way to say that word is 3RD. 3 whole fucking letters to say the same
them isn't even a letter.
exact thing. Because if you say anti-penultimate in a classroom of like 5th graders, none of them are going to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
And if you say third in a class full of 5th graders,
enough, even if you're
probably
talking to
some of
somebody.
them will understand what the fuck you're talking about.
That is true. They tend to have basic knowledge of numbers.
Word of the day, conversant. Familiar with or
Conversant?
knowledgeable about something. I can accept that.
I mean, I'd just say fluent.
That is true. Although, would it make sense to say someone is fluent in, like, history?
Yeah. They
I
know their
don't-
history.
Okay.
You have to remember the human language. The English language is
The English language,
complex. Many words can have many meanings. It can be used in many contexts.
you know, I've realized a thesaurus is teaching you how to divide by words.
Yep. It's just the calculator of words.
Word of the day, numeracy. The ability to understand and work with numbers. I guess that makes sense. You don't need
Yeah.
I don't know of any other ways to say that. Unless by saying, like, they're a savant. But even
Yeah, but if Fallout's taught us anything, even savants can be stupid.
But, like, I would say savant is another one of those big words that people don't really know what the hell it means.
That's not big. That's 6 letters, mate. Big is like business or penultimate or antepenultimate.
Business is like 7 letters.
No, it's 8.
Damn. 2 whole extra letters in savant.
That's what makes it big.
Oh.
the threshold. Anything after 6.
Oh, that fucker has a minigun. Oh, it's a hound.
And that's some quality podcast material right there. It will be fine.
What do you mean?
I'm bleeding, but we'll be fine.
Alright, next word. Transmute. Everyone knows what this means.
Of course. Anyone who's
Change
seen
in
Fullmetal Alchemist
form,
knows what that
nature, or
means.
substance. That is a word that people use, that people can use every day.
I need to rewatch Full Metal Alchemist.
Judder. That's a good fucking anime. I watched Full Metal Alchemist and then I watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Brotherhood will always be the superior one.
Well, yeah, because Brotherhood actually follows the manga and the story that the original people who made it set up. Whereas Brotherhood followed the manga up to a point and then they kind of just fucked off and did whatever they wanted to do.
You just said that Brotherhood did and didn't follow the manga. You gotta
do you
make
mean?
up your mind here, man.
Oh, Brotherhood followed the manga. Just Full Metal Alchemist didn't. It fucked off and did whatever the hell it wanted to do.
That is incredibly accurate, yes. They
Although
even
both
swapped
were
around
decent.
Wrath and Pride for some reason.
They were both decent though.
Yeah.
Both had a different origin for the homunculus. Like, I'm pretty sure in Just Full Metal Alchemist, spoilers, in Just Full Metal Alchemist, all of the homunculus were a result of
The homunculus.
people trying to bring humans back to life,
Yes.
and it
there were
failing.
the results of that.
Whereas in
I want to say
Brother...
Lust was their mom, too.
No, it was Sloth.
That's right, it was Sloth.
It was Sloth. Sloth was their mom. And then Wrath...
Pride.
Wrath was the kid.
Wrath was the kid.
Wrath
Wasn't
was-
that the
Wrath was the-
teachers?
Wrath was the king's kid, and then the king was, I think he was Greed.
It was Pride.
Oh, yeah, no, he was Pride. He was Pride, and then his son was Wrath.
Yeah. Envy, Gluttony, and Lust were all the same. So was Greed, I want to say. I liked Greed turning to the good guy's side much more than the way they did him in OG Full Metal, though.
And then...
I felt like that was an appropriate character arc.
And then in Brotherhood, the king is Wrath. He kills his own son at some point because his son turns around and runs back into the house and grabs some... he sees something he shouldn't have seen because Wrath, like, left the door open or something. And the kid went to run back in to get something because he just wanted to make his dad, happy. And so Wrath is like, damn, you saw it. And then he, like, snaps his own kid's neck. That happens.
Yeah. The death of Major Hughes has to be the most depressing part
Major
of either
Hughes.
of those.
Oh, that's the guy that gets shot to death. I think he gets shot to death
By
in
Envy,
both
yeah.
versions.
He gets shot by Envy, posing as his wife.
I think that happens in both versions.
Pretty sure.
I don't think you see the guy turn his daughter into the homunculus in both versions, though.
No.
That
I'm pretty
only
sure
happens
that's
in
just
Brotherhood.
Which, I mean,
Is
it's
it
like the only
homunculus or
thing the OG one
homunculus?
has. It's homunculus.
Okay.
Like hummus.
Yeah.
They're just as tasty, too.
What?
Yeah, no, it's homunculus. But yeah. That's like the only thing the OG has going for it, is that they didn't do the Chimera episode.
There's also a lot of things that happen in Just Full Metal Alchemist that Brotherhood pokes at as if it was canon. Like,
Yeah, because it is canon. That
Well-
stuff actually happened in the manga. It just isn't shown in the show.
well, there... Really?
Yeah, like the coal mine thing. I think
Yeah.
I have books 1 through 3 of the manga around here somewhere. That actually happens. I read about it.
Because in Full Metal Alchemist, they end up upon the mining town, and in the end, Edward... That is his name, right? It's been so long
Edward
since
and
I've watched it.
Alphonse.
Yeah, okay. Edward transmutes coal into gold. And then he, quote unquote, buys the mining town. But to make it unofficial, he tells the guy, how about I just give you this gold and you give me the town as goodwill? And then when the guy tries to give him the coal back to get the town back because he got tricked, Edward's
He's
like,
giving it to the
Edward is like, I'm
miners.
sorry, but you gave this to me at no exchange. So, fuck
Yeah.
off. Is pretty much what he said to him. There's also a scene where Edward is in like a butcher house and he is literally chased by this crazy butcher guy, and like that encounter gives him nightmares. You only know
Yeah,
about the
that's,
mining town.
That's
What?
that's one of the suits of armor they find at the 5th laboratory, I think it was.
Yeah. The coal mining town is mentioned in a brief flashback, and then there's a scene in Brotherhood where Edward is waking up, and you're seeing like small flashes of when he was in the butcher house, because it was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Such a good show. It is absolutely worth watching both of them, because it's like you're watching the same show but twice.
More or less, yeah.
All right, let's get this next word over here.
Yeah.
Judder. Especially of something mechanical. Shake and vibrate rapidly and with force. I thought that's what jitter was for. What the fuck's the difference between judder and jitter?
Jitter might be for biological.
Maybe?
They said judder's mechanical. Maybe jitter's the biological equivalent.
I didn't know they would have to separate mechanical and biological. What?
You wouldn't think it, yeah.
I didn't know jitter had a masculine and feminine version.
Yeah. Jitaro and jitara.
Fossick.
What? The rat foss?
It's an Australian word. Rummage.
Oh, that explains it.
Search for
Rummage.
gold in abandoned workings. Rummage, semicolon, search. Wait, is the semicolon the dot with the comma below it?
Yes.
Okay.
And then a colon is the double dots.
Alright. I never
fact,
used...
the
I
semicolon
never...
tattoo is commonly used by people who suffered from depression and had suicidal thoughts but didn't act on them.
I did not know that.
Or failed to act on them. Yep.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
My older brother has one on his wrist.
It's like an actual permanent
Since he,
tattoo?
Yes. He suffered from it in high school. It was a rough time.
A lot of people have a rough time in high school.
That's true. I think I hit my down patches, but it was never really anything crazy.
Yeah, you back the fuck up, bitch. Alright. There's that word. Word of the day, brackish. Brackish is on?
Zon?
Slight
Exactly what I thought of.
of water. Slightly salty, as is the mixture of river water and seawater in estuaries. Unpleasant or
In what now?
distasteful. As in the mixture of river water and seawater in estuaries.
What is an estuary?
I think an estuary is like a breeding ground for fish. I know it has
Breeding
something to
ground for
do with a.
estrogen?
I know it's, bruh. I know it's a form of pond.
That would make sense, I guess. Kind of sounds similar to sanctuary.
I know estuary was a word that was mentioned a shit ton in history books in school, but I hated history so much I didn't pay attention to it.
I have literally never heard that word
You've
before.
never heard of it?
I've
Estuary?
never heard of an estuary.
Well, let's look it up. That's why we got dictionaries.
Indeed.
Estuary definition. An estuary is an area where a freshwater river or stream meets the ocean.
I guess that needs a name.
I know there's a line where, like, the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean meet, and there's, like, a perfect line going down where they meet that's, like, totally different in colors. It's, like, crazy as
That makes
fuck.
sense.
I wonder if that is technically an estuary.
The rainbow wave. Mario's hidden level, Rainbow Beach.
Rainbow Beach. Well, one half of the ocean at this spot is like, it's like dark green, and then this line hits and it's blue.
Okay.
It's like that dramatic of a change, and it's just a perfectly visible line.
Interesting.
Lacuna.
Matata?
I was gonna make that fucking joke. An unfilled space or interval, semicolon, a gap, a missing portion in a book or manuscript. I believe that's called a cliffhanger.
Yeah, or a gap.
In the case of anatomy, it's a cavity or depression, especially in bone. The lacuna in the manuscript made it a confusing read. Her forearm had a lacuna due to improper bone development. I guess that's okay. I
Yeah.
can't really think of a simple way to describe that one.
Why does it sound Hawaiian?
I don't know. Maybe because it has two A sounds like at the start and at the end.
That could be it. Yeah.
Pedagogue. I've heard this word before.
A pedagogue?
Formal humorous. A teacher, especially a strict or pedantic one. Okay, so what the fuck does pedantic mean?
I've heard that before.
Also, I swear,
can't remember what it
pedagogue had
stands for.
a different definition when I heard it. It was mostly used. It was mostly used in the 18th century.
Pedagogue?
Yeah, in the 1800s.
That would explain why no one says it today.
This game is so pretty.
It is. It's very nice for a PS4 game.
Pentimento. This just sounds like
What?
a Latin word, a Latin way to say sentimental.
I'm a pentimento.
A visible trace of earlier painting beneath a layer or layers of paint on a canvas.
Why? It feels like you should be able to describe that. I don't think you really need a word for it.
Yeah, like you could say, I scratched my car and the paint was layered.
Yeah.
or something of
Because
that
I know
nature.
that happens. I've seen pictures of that where people, they get a scratch on their car that goes all the way down to the metal, and when they look at it, the edges of it are like 4 different colors because of how many times the car has been repainted.
Yeah. Speaking of Italians, I had a really weird thought the other day. I started thinking about why Mario's collecting coins and whatnot, right?
You never use those coins.
You don't. You don't. That's the point. He rescues Peach at the end of every game, right? What if he's collecting the coins because he has alimony checks to pay, and he's hunting down Peach to try and pay the alimony?
Oh my fucking god.
What? You never see them get together.
She gives him a kiss on the nose every time you save him. You save her.
Exactly. On the nose.
Imagine that. You save that. You save this bitch constantly because she's too fucking stupid to not get stolen by a giant ass fucking turtle. And as soon as this one guy who jumps on mushrooms, eats mushrooms,
And does mushrooms.
that gives him the power allegedly to shoot fire out of his, what is it, mouth?
Hands.
I don't know. Every time he shoots fire, he reaches up to his mouth.
I know he's really fat, but it's definitely his hands.
Every time this happens, she just gives him a kiss on the nose. You know?
Yep.
This guy,
And then bakes him a
he's
cake.
sticking himself out for you.
See, the ultimate plot twist in Mario is that Peach is fattening Mario up to Hansel and Gretel him later.
Yo. Those are some fat fucking dragonflies. Holy shit, bro.
Yeah, it's normal around here. DC was built on a swamp, so there's that.
Word of the day, Rufus. Like the dog?
We went in very different directions with that.
Well, what were you gonna say about it? It's gotta be YouTube friendly, you asshole.
Well, it's too late for that.
Reddish brown in color. You could just say reddish brown.
Okay. Yeah.
Pinniped. A carnivorous aquatic mammal in the order Pinnipedia, such as the seal or walrus. I guess that's acceptable.
Yeah. Though your pronunciation of carnivorous leaves something to be desired.
What? I said carnivorous?
Yep.
I'll carnivore you.
Bitch. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Took you that long to say that?
I was trying to decide if it was YouTube friendly.
Noetic. Relating
Then
to
I decided I
mental
already said bitch.
relating to mental activity or the intellect. The
Say
philos-
that one again?
Noetic.
Noetic, as in the arc?
No, noetic. Noetic.
Yeah, the Noetic.
Relating to mental activity or the intellect. That just that's another one of those.
Yeah,
I
it
mean-
doesn't seem. I guess it makes sense,
It-
but you,
it-
again,
yeah.
you don't really need a word for it.
If I could think of the word I'm thinking of, it could totally replace that. Would, like, what the fuck is it? I'm thinking of like, Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die. Well, not anymore. Is that the hive? Oh no, that's your little drone. Okay.
I mean, my drone's following you. I also have a hive healing us.
That might be doing it then.
That's what healed you initially, yeah.
Arenaceous.
What now?
Arenaceous. Arenaceous. There's a lot of upside down E's in that pronunciation.
Oh boy.
What the? Hold on.
Arenaceous?
Let's talk about that. Why the fuck does it put the E's upside down? How do you pronounce an E upside down?
It's a pronunciation thing. Somehow you're supposed to understand it. I bet it makes more sense to people of foreign languages, but it's not an easy thing for English speakers to understand.
Like, does a right side up E sound like E, but the upside down E sounds like eh? Is that how that
Maybe?
relationship works?
Arenaceous?
Like a right side up A makes the ass sound, whereas the upside down would make an eh sound.
Maybe.
Does that make
That is
any
possible.
sense?
What is it? What's the definition?
Of arenaceous?
Yeah.
Geology, consisting of sand or particles of a substance similar to sand. Biology, living or growing in sand. I guess
So
that
it's
makes
got
sense.
Something to do with sand.
Yeah, I guess that's an acceptable word. Considering I didn't know there was a word that would describe sand-based life.
Sand-based life forms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Did this fucking gate close?
No, you gotta climb.
Oh, okay. Oh, my timer's about to go off.
Now, would a beached whale be considered a sand-based life form?
Probably not, because it's not alive.
You don't know that.
And last I
Whales
checked,
breathe
a
air.
whale. Last I checked, a whale isn't a fucking plant.
I see. Now I didn't hear the plant part.
All right, I gotta end this.
Okay.